This is Carita Parks with Bowie Television at the Under Armour Performance Center. The Baltimore Ravens have returned to full speed after their Week 13 bye, and the team's in a very good position, at least from an injury standpoint. No one missed practice on Wednesday except for Rashad Bateman, who was out with an illness. But on a bigger scale, Lamar Jackson, he did miss practice on Thursday with an illness. We'll have to see if he's back at it on Friday or not. Hopefully that's not something that lingers on till Sunday, because that would really be the only monkey wrench in the plan as the team gears up for their matchup against the 6-6 Los Angeles Rams, who are coming to M&T Bank Stadium. The Ravens are happy to be back home. They're always happy when they have a home game to be in front of their home crowd. There is rain in the forecast as well as wind. So in talking to the coaches today, they admitted that it does affect the game plan and the plays that you call, but they're professionals and they're going to do what they have to do. Also, the team knows what's at stake. They control their own destiny at this point when it comes to the AFC seeding. They sit 2 games ahead of their competition in the AFC North, and they're in a fight for that number 1 seed and bye. Coach Harbaugh said it's a very unique opportunity, and it's what his guys fought for all season, and that he's happy that they're in this position, and he hopes that the fans are happy. We'll see what the outcome is on Sunday. As I said, the Ravens return to M&T Bank Stadium to take on the Rams. This is Carita Parks with Bowie Television. Be sure to stay in tune with us for all of your Ravens content.
Todd, I know you going into the bye week, you talked about going back and kind of reassessing where you guys are. When you look back at the tape from this point of the season, how would you assess where you guys are as an offense today?
I think we've come a long way from the beginning of the year in terms of process, and we've been doing things better. We still have a long ways to go, in terms of just being consistent. But there's a lot of good. There's a lot of things we are doing well, and sometimes in the bye week, as you assess things, you got to be careful to not overreact, because you do want to clean up some of the things that you think you have a chance to look at and get better at and assess where you're at, but remember some of the things you're really good at and kind of try to build on that.
Todd, we didn't see Lamar out there. Is he dealing with like a sickness or illness?
I think that question's for Coach Harbaugh. It's not my place to speak on players that are or aren't at practice.
What goes into scheming against the Rams pass rush and MacDonald in particular?
Sure, that's what a tremendous player. It's a challenge. Just like every week in this league for a player of his caliber and the guys around him that have really picked up their play. So it's a real challenge. They do a great job schematically. They're well coached. They play hard. They play well connected together, which is important. So it'll be a real challenge.
How much can weather affect your game plan? Obviously, rain
Sure.
in the forecast for Sunday.
I think weather affects a number of things, but we're still, a decent amount of time out, but obviously, until you get there, you know, again, you're anticipating rain. You know that there's a chance you're going to get wind, so I would anticipate your, you know, your game planning and certainly your play calling.
How much does going against Justin Madubuike help you prepare for Aaron Donald? Do you feel I feel so often I hear that comp is he's a young, up-and-coming Aaron Donald. Sure. Did that help this week?
No, I think that's a good comp. You know, I think from an internal player, you know, we played a good number of edge guys. You know, from Myles Garrett to Khalil Mack to T.J. Watt. Seems like we played against a good number of edge guys, top end, elite edge guys, and now we get a chance. And they move him around third downs. You'll see Aaron on the edge, and so again, he's a active player.
Calibrating where we're at and where we want to go. Things that I talked about last time, we were able to get those things. And the good thing about this week is now, as we're kind of introducing the Rams and the things that they do, also through the lens of, our self-scout findings with the guys. So good feedback on there as well.
Mike, the secondary's played at a high level. Now you get Merlin Humphrey possibly back in the lineup. What's he add to that? What's he give you guys as far as depth and playmaking ability?
Yeah, I mean, you guys know Marlon, and Marlon at his best is as good as they come. So glad that he's feeling better, and he's trying to get up to speed, but he looks good right now out there for sure.
Mike, what do you think about the challenge of trying to contain the big plays in the passing game with the Rams? They do a lot of deep crosses, and everybody talks about Puka and Cooper Kupp, but Tutu Atwell goes deep as well.
And then obviously in the pass game, they're able to get to the spots they need to get to. I don't know how fast they're going, but they get to the right spots to me, and obviously, great players and are able to finish plays and catching the ball in traffic. So definitely have our hands full with those two.
Mike, maybe this is putting the cart before the horse, but John Harbaugh talked about how with the bye week, you guys had some time to not just focus on the Rams, but do some advanced stuff. And with the connections, with the Shanahan tree and San Francisco coming up, Miami coming up, are you in any way looking at this as a kind of litmus test for the stuff that is ahead as well?
I wouldn't call it a litmus test because it's such a week-to-week thing, and it's hard to say, hey, we're going to do these things X amount of weeks from now, just because the team changes and what you feel like you're good at it's just kind of a constant evolution. However, it is good to know what's coming down the pike, and but I can assure you, vast majority of our attention was spent on the Rams last week for sure.
All right.
Okay.
You go down to the stadium, do you have them field wet punts? How do you go about that?
It's just one of those things that we're gonna have to trust that our guys with their technique, just fielding that ball. But from a snapper to to hold standpoint, there is ways we can work that by wetting the footballs and things like that. But it's a little bit harder to get that ball wet and then get it to the returners, right? So it's just one of those things. If we utilize our fundamentals when fielding the ball, we're gonna be okay.
Anything in particular in the self-scouting, a little bit of time of reflection that's stood out to you, that you, and as much as you could share about them, that you would take to advance going forward?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things I really looked at, I just wanted to see what was causing some of these punt coverage issues, and I think it just went back to us just fully executing the fundamentals of that phase, being in the right lanes, having the right leverages, and just guys going out and make the play. And that's really been the biggest thing for us, right? Other than that, I think there's opportunities when we start getting, again, the weather's changing, we get some opportunities for the return game. Just being able to kind of maximize those opportunities and set our offense up with a good field position.
Coach, now that we're kind of nearing the end of the season, more than halfway through, with Tyler Ott and the whole special teams unit with the field goal and Justin Tucker, Jordan Stout, how would you say their chemistry has kind of progressed throughout the season?
Yeah, I think it's been good. When Tyler got here, they spent a lot of time really working hard, getting Tyler caught up to what we do to our standard, just from that snapping standpoint. But he's a veteran guy. I think he understood. He's snapped in this league for a long time. But as far as their chemistry between those three guys, they're doing a great job. Obviously, we've had some missed field goals, but those things are technical things. Some of those things, hey, that 59-yard, that 61-yard, we look at those kicks. But other than that, I think these guys are doing a great job for us.
Chris, do you feel you have maybe an abundance or a surplus of talent at special teams just because with injuries you've had call-ups and guys, and some guys get left off just the game day rush. Like Josh Ross is a guy that's really good on special teams, who we've seen, but just due to the depth chart issues, you can't quite get all those guys. Do you just feel you have a surplus of talent at this point?
I kind of don't look into it that way. It's just, I always look at it as whoever's out there, those guys get an opportunity to go play, man. Let's go execute. They've been here long enough. They understand how we play. Obviously, as those things happen, maybe the level of talent might drop off a little bit, but those guys can still go out there and execute the way we play football. All right, it's the National Football League, and I tell them, you're here for a reason. Let's go play football.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Cool.
Appreciate it.
Does it feel like as restorative as you would hope?
Restorative, okay, yeah. I mean, I guess it did, in terms of the body and then, mental, just restoring and everything and making sure you're good. So it was a good time because we understand what we did in the past. We dominated and we got 5 games, potentially 8 games to continue that. So I guess it did. It was a good cycle.
Did you look at anything you did? Did you take time to reflect and go back, watch things, and kind of self-scout, self-evaluate? Did you learn anything, you think?
Just to continue to press on. If rushes don't work, to keep on staying consistent with my technique and all that stuff like that. And then get healthy. So just those 2 things.
You got this stretch run, got these 5 games now, really tough slate, but you're right where you want to be. Does it feel like, all right, now it's really go time?
Yeah, I'm feeling healthy. I'm getting back to 100%. So moves are starting to feel better, feel crisp. I'm starting to feel good with my health and everything. So it's a good time, for everything to start clicking.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate you.
I don't even know. Probably in space. Probably easier in space. But yeah, I mean, I guess you can anticipate that the run game is going to be more of a game plan for both sides of the ball, because if it's really windy and really rainy, it might be pretty difficult to throw the ball. So I'm excited to play every Sunday, regardless of the weather. If it comes down to that, then I'll be ready. I know the guys here will be ready, and we got a great game plan, so we're just getting ready for it.
Being a New England guy and a fullback, do you kind of relish sloppy conditions? What does it do for you?
Yeah, I mean, I guess, I'm always like playing, and that's the great thing about football is that it doesn't matter what the weather is, you're always going to play. Once it's thundering out, obviously not, but that's what makes it a lot of fun, is it could be any weather condition. In high school I played, and it was like, we're the only high school game that was up that week. It was just torrential downpour, so bad. It was one of those games where you really remember playing in, so hopefully it's not like that this Sunday, but yeah, I mean, playing in those kind of games are fun.
With Mark being out for a while, they have to do so many different things. How does that impact, or how do you think it might impact what you may be asked to do, and what do you feel about it?
Yeah, so, with Mark being out for however long he's going to be out, I don't think my role is going to change too much. I might be asked to do a couple more things or more of what I've been doing, but I think guys that would fill his role are going to be Isaiah Lakeling and Charlie Kohler, and other tight ends that we have on practice squad, or guys we bring in, and I'm excited for those guys. I mean, Charlie and Isaiah are 2 second-year guys who are very talented, and they just haven't had quite as many opportunities because of Mark, and rightfully so. And Mark's an all-pro player, and he should be getting all the looks for those guys. And now that they have the opportunity to get those plays, I'm excited for them, and I know they're going to make the most of it. But yeah, don't be expecting me to be running all these routes and doing the things that Mark does. But yeah, whatever's asked of me, you guys know that I'm going to do whatever's asked.
Late in the season, often the running game comes more into play. You welcome, I mean, you guys have been running the ball well all year, but you feel like maybe late in the season that might be a key to what you guys want to do?
Yeah, I mean, we're just going to keep doing what we've been doing. I mean, if we got to rely more on our running game, then so be it. We're ready for that task. I love our backs. I love our line. I love the way our receivers block. I love our quarterback that can also run the ball. So it's a lot of fun to block for those guys. So if we have to emphasize more of the run game, then, we'll take the challenge on them.
There's a lot of things you do that don't show up in the stat sheet, etc. Just curious, did it take you time to embrace that, or you relish it, or you have to do a lot of different things? You talked earlier this year about your personality and
yeah,
fitting in a lot of different roles.
Sure. I was never really a skill player growing up. I came here as a defensive lineman, so for me to come play offense, it wasn't like oh, I need to get the ball or I need recognition and stuff like that. I'm just happy to be playing and doing what I want to do. And I think for me, it's like seeing other guys have success because of things that I'm able to do for them. I think that's like the biggest prize in itself. And I know my role, and I love what I do. And whenever I get the ball, then I'll make the most of it. And I could care less if I don't get the ball once all year.
I'm sure we asked you about this back then, but what was going on in your head in that Lions game where you walked up and
all right, so I've never gotten the ball in open field with like no one around me in 20 yards. So I just full sprinted and most guys when they see me, I always throw my shoulder. So I was thinking, maybe I should try to make a move with this guy and show something different and try to hang a late spin move. Maybe it wasn't the best. Kind of got him feeding to my feet up. But next time, I think I'm better suited just to lower my shoulder.
Can we see a hurdle one of these days?
Absolutely not. Thank you.
Thanks,
Maybe their measurables don't say they're not 4.2 runners, but Puka and Clowney, 2 super fast. But those guys just know how to get open, know how to catch the ball. When you're watching them, what do you see? What's the challenge they present?
Yeah, I mean they run their offense well. I respect every opponent. I never take anybody lightly. But yeah, it's definitely gonna be a good matchup. I can win on one-on-ones. Every down. And we're ready for that.
Is there anything in particular that strikes you about them when watching their tape and studying? That's the way they go about doing anything that stands out?
Yeah, I mean they're crafty players. They find ways to get open. And so just been having to study that. Study ways they get open. Versus certain leverages and whatnot. They're crafty. They got great coaches up there that taught them. So they're doing well.
Might be kind of an ugly game. A lot of rain, some wind. The D-back, you like that?
Oh yeah, that's our type of game. That's our type of game.
Appreciate you. And they just, they don't have the measurables necessarily, but man, they just get open and catch the ball and make plays. That's what we see. What do you see looking at those guys?
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about, who are you talking about?
Puka, Cooper.
Yeah. I've known Puka, up since we were high school. We both had like All-American game together and stuff. But yeah, he's coming to his own. I don't know what round he was drafted, but whatever it wasn't early enough. And he's doing a great job this season. We're watching film. He's getting a bunch all over the field. All of them are. They're pretty versatile all over the place. Obviously Kyron went to school with him. He's one of my boys, and he's been going crazy this year too. So they provide a bunch of problems on their side of the ball, and it's going to be a challenge. But I think we have the guys to do it.
It feels like almost with Kyron, they kind of go as well. When he was out, the offense really just didn't kind of sputter a little bit. With Henry, they can do a lot more. How much is he the key?
Yeah, he can do a bunch. He can pass pro if you need him to. He's obviously can run the ball, and he's a great pass catcher out of the backfield. I've seen it since 2019. We both came in as freshmen at Notre Dame, and pretty much best friends the whole time there, so it's been cool to go against them. We were texting earlier this week, just talking about how far it's going to be and stuff like that. We're looking forward to it. But at the same time, I got to look at him as running back that we're playing, scouting him. What he likes to do, what he doesn't like to do, and I feel like the defense as a whole has a good grasp of our game plan, what we're going to do going into it.
Knowing him so well, does that give you an edge, you think?
Not really, I don't think. If anything, I think we're going to go harder even than we were before because we're going to have bragging rights in the group chat and stuff like that. So, he's a great guy, great player. I'm glad to see him doing well this year.
Looks like it's going to be ugly Sunday. Lots of rain, windy, defensive guy. You sign me up for that, or would you rather it be sunny and 65, no wind?
It's easy to be like that's football weather, but I think football weather is 70 and sunny and not a cloud in the sky. But I'm from Georgia, so I'm not really used to the cold weather stuff. But once Notre Dame kind of got grown out of that pretty quickly. But it is what it is. It's been rain games this year. We've all played in rain games, so it's just another element to it. But it's not going to change a whole bunch.
The bye week do for you what you had hoped? Do you feel restored? Do you feel like, all right, you got this 5-game stretch now to close things out?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's, at the beginning of the season when you see byes week 13, you're kind of like, all right, it's going to be a bit of a grind to get to the bye. But now that we've gotten here to this point, we have sitting pretty good where we're at. It's awesome to have that little break, going to the final stretch of the season, going to the playoffs, and hopefully make a deep run. So, just went home, chilled for a little bit, just got football off our mind, and now I'm reset, ready to get back to it.
Chris Hewitt told us last week, he said, don't let the baby face fool you, he'll rip your face off. Where does that come from for you? How do you flip that switch?
I mean, I just shaved this morning, whatever I had. I mean, I can't even really grow a beard for real, but I guess I've always had a baby face, and I've had people tell me since I got my hair cut that I look like 16. So, but yeah, I mean, it's always been a thing. I blame it on my dad. He doesn't have facial hair for real, so that may be it. But yeah, it might be an advantage. Somebody might think I'm soft or something.
I mean more the opposite. Where does the aggression come from?
Oh.
Not the
baby. I just gave the whole backstory on why I look like a baby. But yeah, I think it's really the only way to play, especially in this league at my position, safety, nickel, you're in the mix a lot, and guys are across the ball, they're going to be playing the same way, so I need to match that, if not exceed it, every play, and it's just controlled aggression at the end of the day, and applying it when I need to, being cool and calm when I need to at the same time, but yeah, it's definitely time and place for it.
So the question is, will you do that to Kyron? Will you snatch Kyron's face?
I mean, when we're on the field, he's just a running back at that point. And, that's my boy, obviously, but he's going to be feeling the same way.
Kyle, those nickel blitzes have been very successful for you guys, whether it's you blitzing or Arthur Millette or Marlon. What's kind of your feeling when you hear that play being called, and you're the guy that's getting this blitzing?
Yeah, it's fun. I didn't blitz that much in college. High school. That's the only level that I've kind of been blitzing at, and it's fun. Go back there. Only job you have is just go get a sack, go get a quarterback. So it's kind of like I feel like it's kind of like pressing somebody in football and basketball. Hopefully make them nervous, make a bad decision, something like that. Because when we disguise our blitzes really well, and it's kind of a surprise to the quarterback when we do end up blitzing. So try to keep them on their toes and show our blitzes and get out of it, stuff like that. But as a nickel, I'm sure you ask Art the same thing. He'll tell you that it's fun.
Kyle, the secondary's played so well all year, but it's been kind of rare for you guys to have everyone healthy and back there with Marcus and Marlon. With Marlon already saying he's good to go this week, is there some excitement that you guys can still hit another level just because you've got so much depth, you have so much versatility back there?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like it's been kind of the theme this whole year, guys in and out at all three levels and offense at the same time, But I think it's just showing how deep we are. Guys come in and do a great job. Gino is playing at a Pro Bowl level, and obviously before the season, nobody was expecting him to start, but he was called upon and he delivered. So props to him, props to other guys that stepped up as well. Like Ronald Darby, he's playing really well at the same time. And it sucks for Marlon and Marcus, those guys went down with injuries, stuff like that, but it just shows that Marcus is right here. But it shows how resilient we are as a defense to just hold everything together and exceed.
In terms of the Pro Bowl, you're playing at the Pro Bowl too and leading the way in voting right now. Does that mean anything to you to be, the top AFC vote getter at this point for the Pro Bowl?
Yes and no. It's cool. At the same time, we still got 5 games to go until the playoffs start, and that's when our season starts. In my mind, it's just 1 week season going to the playoffs, but right now we've got to focus on finishing out the season. Realistically, I don't want to play in the Pro Bowl. I want to play Super Bowl. So that's the mindset I think everybody here has. And it'll be cool to be nominated for it for sure, and I'll be thankful if that does happen, but not the priority at this point.
All right, thanks, Kyle.
Alrighty.
So when we talked to Chuck Smith during the bye week, he said that you come up with a new move or something. Do you know what he's alluding to?
Not quite, but I have worked on making my moves a lot better since he got here. Working with the other guys up front, so ain't nothing really new, just getting better at doing it. So that's probably what he means.
Jadeveon, the fire that Kyle Hamilton plays with, the kind of passion, the physicality, what stands out to you? Does that stand out to you about him?
Oh, of course. The guy plays like his hair on fire. He all over the field, sideline to sideline. I love him. I love playing with him because of the way he played the game, man. He physical, he run up and hit you, he can cover, he can do just about anything out there. And it's like playing with a player like that.
Jadeveon, how important is it going to be to get pressure on Stafford this weekend?
It's very important. I feel like that's every week we play in a game. It's important to get pressure on the quarterback. We take pride in that up front, and we're just gonna try to do what we can do up front and get out there.
You've had a lot of good seasons in the NFL. Do you feel like this one, what you've accomplished, what you still can accomplish, has the makings to be one of your more memorable ones?
I mean, I hope so. It's early, too early to tell. Got a lot of season left, playoffs around the corner. I just want to continue to play and continue to be out there. That was my goal this year, to play in every game. And if I do that, I know I was going to have a great season. So I just want to continue to be out there on the field and be available for my teammates and my coaches. So I'm working on that right now.
Why do you think this has been such a good fit for you, both from an enjoyment standpoint and a production standpoint?
Just comfortable, and Mike put us in great positions to make plays, and the guy knows what he's doing out there and lining us up. So you got a coach like that. The quarterbacks pump the ball and give us extra time to get there, and we were making plays up front, and that's how you can ask for playing on with a defensive line like this and a great linebacker coach.
To build on that, why do you think that the four guys they added later, you Darby, Millette, and Kyle, kind of been the perfect finishing touches for this defense?
I can't tell you the answer to that. All I know is I come to work every day and prepare and try to do what they ask of me and go out there and execute the game plan at the end of the week and hopefully come out with a dub. That's all I can do.
How do you feel physically at this point of the year, into the bye week coming at a good point for you?
I feel pretty good. I wish we wouldn't have had no bye. I wish we'd have kept that thing rolling. I was just in the groove, and you got to stop it, man, and start back up. But I feel pretty good. I'm looking forward to this game and get back out there and get going.
You talk about your relentlessness out there. Where do you think? How difficult is that to have it trying to do it every single time you're out there?
Like I said, we got a great group that rotates. So when I get my opportunities to go out there, I try not to get tired and just give everything I got and just put my foot on the gas. I've been in plays that ask me to play in a row. How many times we be out there in the game, and I just try to take advantage of my opportunities. So that's basically what I go out there and do. I said I might not have them like 5 or 6 in a row or whatever, but while I'm out here, let me go crazy. I go balls to the wall so I can try to make a play. That's what I'll be doing.
Chuck Smith said that only Lamar Jackson has had more pressure on him over the course of his career compared to you. Just what's it been like having that kind of pressure, and how do you endure it?
I feel like I put that on myself, the pressure on myself after the season I had last year. I got hurt at the beginning of that season, didn't say anything, I played in Cleveland with kind of a bad elbow for that whole season, and it didn't turn out like I wanted to after the year I had. The first year I was there with 9 sacks, turned around and had that bad year. So I came in this season with like, I just want to be available, be healthy through these games, and go ahead and try to dominate like I know I can, and I put a lot of pressure on myself and take pride in that. So I know people count me out because I'm 30 or whatever they want to say, but I just go out there and play my game and give you what I got.
It's an important time to catch me because I'm
you said that your only goal this season was to play every game and remain healthy. Just what's been the practice of working on that and going through that?
I feel like this team and Coach Harbaugh do a good job taking care of the guys out there during the week. It ain't too much, it's enough to get the work in and just get us prepared for the game, and he doing a very good job of that.
Is getting double-digit sacks in the season, is that important for you?
Of course. Probably more right at this point. I want more. Just being hungry right now for me is the key. And I've got a lot of football left, like I say, 5 regular season games. I just want to go out there and be great for my teammates and my coaches.
Let's end it with that. Thank you.
All right.